Smaller sidestep. I plan to look at Life with Karami, but that's going to take a little more time. So, let's take a look at Color Swap. When I looked at Pen and Ink Volume 1, I failed on many levels to mention what makes that book special. I didn't acknowledge a lot of what makes the relationship between Pen and Ink special. I skipped a lot of the stories for a theoretical time limit, and made some pretty cringy jokes. Ink is adorable, and Pen is a snack. So I want to make up for it by looking at one of the primary stories in that book, Color Swap. So, Plush Maria, you ready to dive into this? Why do I ask you? You can't talk. Let's take a look at Pen and Ink Color Swap. Our story opens with Pen and Ink drawing in a hammock when Ink asks Pen to read her newly written story. Let me get this out of the way. This opening's pretty chill. Seriously, not many stories open with resting in a hammock. I can vibe with that. Pen agrees to read Ink's story and... the Puppet Master said as he fell over and vanquished. Puppet Master? Ink, you're more hardcore than I thought. After reading, Ink asks Pen if her fictional hero has superpowers, which apparently are in his muffin pans. I really hope he fights by thwacking people like Looney Tunes slapstick. After being told her hero does in fact have superpowers, Ink declares she wants powers too, to which Pen asks the age-old question, well, what powers would you have? After a bit of not being able to decide, the sisters head inside to grab some lunch. Pen telling Ink to scribble something while she prepares food. In that time, she does some thinking about the food she's gonna make. Ink wants a peanut butter and paintbow sandwich with her crust cut off. That's my rap name, by the way. And I'll have a triple layered mortadella on toasted rye with sliced olives, shredded pastel cheese, acrylic mustard, and maybe some spicy paprika. After this review, I think I'll have a bowl of stale Apple Jacks and a Pepsi that has been in the back of the fridge for an unknown amount of time. While Ink scribbles, she grabs a red crayon and demands it become green. When it doesn't, she begins to cry. Why are you coming back to me? I'm not making fun of a kid crying. After finishing her sandwiches, she hears the cries of Ink. Pen runs to see what's wrong and asks, what's the splatter? Puns! Ink explains her red crayon isn't green. When Pen points out that she has a perfectly good green crayon, Ink exclaims, no! Ink want this big green crayon! Ink goes on to cry about wanting superpowers. Kid, why do you want color powers? You can clearly clone yourself! Anyway, Pen agrees while giving this face, and Ink cries out in glory. But after she has lunch. After our lunch, we went to our local park to get what Ink desired. Unfortunately, Ink got the powers of monochrome. Pen pulls out a pen. What? And declares it's a magic pen. A pen that can make any wish you want come true. Please revive Faulty Towers. Reciting the magic words.
I understood that reference.
Ink questions if she has powers, to which Pen says she does, but they only work if her eyes are closed, and she can only use them about 3 times. Pen, confirming she's sadistic to random Bristolians, picks Joe Schmo. That's his name now. He agrees to help, and Ink, closing her eyes, says blue. The dude freaks out now that he is in fact the color blue. Once more, but this time, turning him green. Joe Schmo will forever be in therapy. Ink changes him back to the color red, and Joe compliments her on her newfound powers. Ink realizes she used up her powers, but Pen affirms that she may not have powers, but she's a damn fine little sister, and our story ends. There's an epilogue where Pen is talking to her grandpa that confirms it was all set up, with the help of 3 random Bristolians, colored to match the only 3 words Ink can pronounce. They were able to make Ink's wish come true and make her happy. I love this comic. This comic is the best example of the relationship between Pen and Ink. Pen will do anything to help her little sister and goes above and beyond the call of duty just to see her smile. The art is, of course, adorable, and the writing is funny and jam-packed with art references. Get Pen and Ink Volume 1. Not just for this story, but for all the stories in the book. And please, like I said in the last review, support D as much as you can. So next week, might be Karami, it might be Jason vs. Leatherface number 2. At this point, I'm not entirely sure. It's all up in the air, it's all a gamble. So, we'll see what happens next week. So, Blush Maria, that good? Got the shot? Alright, let's go grab some Baja Blast.